الحمد لله الذي خلق السماوات والأرض وجعل الظلمات والنور ثم الذين كفروا بربهم يعدلون. الحمد لله الذي أنزل على عبده الكتاب ولم يجعل له عوجا. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله لقد جاءت رسل ربنا بالحق. Okay, previously we already went through the meaning of tafsir and what comes first, recitation of Quran or tafsir, and we took a brief introduction into this class, and this is a double class basically. We have this after Fajr, in which we simply take the explanation of one verse of the Quran. And of course, we're going to start with Al-Fatiha. And we're going to start with Al-Fatiha because the Al-Fatiha is the most important surah in the Quran. Because without it, no prayer, obligatory or optional, is accepted. Without Al-Fatiha, no prayer, obligatory or optional, is accepted. This lets us know how important Al-Fatiha is. The Al-Fatiha has many names. From the names of Al-Fatiha is As-Saba' Al-Mathani. As-Saba' Al-Mathani. As-Saba' means seven. Mathani means repeating. So they're the seven oft-repeated verses of the Quran. As-Saba' Al-Mathani. From the names of Al-Fatiha is As-Salah, the prayer. The names of Al-Fatiha is also called the prayer for many reasons. One, as already mentioned, that there is no prayer accepted without Al-Fatiha. So it is the Salah. A person may not know different adhkar throughout the Salah, and his Salah can still be accepted. But without Al-Fatiha, there is no Salah. A person could reach a point where maybe he can't stand in the Salah, which is an important pillar of the prayer. Maybe he can't sit, maybe he can't go into sujood, ruku, and all of that, and it's fine. But he has to recite Al-Fatiha. There's no room for a prayer without Al-Fatiha. So, also, from the virtues of Al-Fatiha, that some of the scholars of Tafsir, or many of the scholars of Tafsir, say is the first surah of the Quran that was revealed in its entirety. Other surah were revealed bits and pieces here, there, until it was complete. But the first surah that was revealed completely all at one time is Al-Fatiha. Also from the virtues of Al-Fatiha is that it is a ruqyah. It is one of the strongest surahs of the Quran in repelling magic, the evil eye, envy, sicknesses, and other than that. And we know of that from the hadith of Abi Sa'id al-Khudri, when him and some companions were on a journey and they passed by a village. And they asked them to take them in as guests. And they rejected them. They said, no, we're not going to allow you to be here as guests. So they left. When they left, the leader of that tribe in that village was stung by a scorpion. So they chased after them. They said, Hal minkum min raq? Do you have a physician amongst you? Do you have somebody that knows about medicine amongst you? And they said, yes. They said, well, our leader has been stung by a scorpion. We need your help. Said, aren't you the same people that just rejected us as guests? We said we're passing through traveling. Could we be your guests? You said no, and now you guys need our help. We're not going to help you until you give us some kind of payment. They said, okay, we'll give you a payment. Just come and help our leader. So they returned, and Abu Sa'id al-Khudri saw the man laying down sick, fever from the scorpion sting. He put his hand, radiallahu anhu, over the place of the sting. He didn't use anti-venom. He didn't have any modern medicine, and he recited Al-Fatiha. And the man, after he recited Al-Fatiha, stood as if nothing happened to him. This still can work today, but with the iman that Abi Sa'id al-Khudri had in the Quran. Allah said, وَنُنَزِّلْ فِي الْقُرْآنِ مَا فِيهِ شِفَاءٌ لِلنَّاسِ. And we send down in the Quran in it that which is a cure for mankind. So the Quran itself is a medicine, not just for spiritual sicknesses, but actually for physical sicknesses, also for mental sicknesses. When someone is affected and attacked by the shaitan or magic or anything like that, the Quran can cure the individual. But the strength, even with modern medicine, the strength of the cure also is connected to the strength of the faith in the sick person and the doctor and the cure. So if the doctor is weak or the one who is sick is weak, the medicine won't work. So they say, well, how did that work back then? It doesn't work today. Think about the faith of this Sahabi that did it. And when those people came in desperation to them, they believed these guys can help us. So now when you got the sick one, trust the doctor to cure him. And the doctor knows that the cure works. When those two come together, you'll find a person who is sick restored back to health. If there's doubt in either one, it's going to affect the power of the cure. So the Quran itself is a cure for the sicknesses of mankind, whether it be spiritual, physical, psychological, or other than that, emotional sicknesses. All of these sicknesses can be cured with the Quran. So this is from the benefits of Al-Fatiha. Allah Ta'ala said, إِنِّي قَسَمْتُ in Hadith Qudusi, إِنِّي قَسَمْتُ الصَّلَاةَ بَيْنِي وَبَيْنَ عَبْدِي, that I have divided the prayer between me and my slave. When he said the prayer, he was talking about Al-Fatiha. Talking about Al-Fatiha. So if my slave says, Alhamdulillah, Allah says, my slave has prayed me. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. My slave has prayed me. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. My slave has extolled me. Maliki Yawmiddin. Then, when it gets to Iyaka Na'bud, it is you that we worship. Wa Iyaka Nasta'een. Allah Ta'ala said that he says that this part is for my slave. When we get seeking from Allah Ta'ala in Al-Fatiha, Iyaka Na'bud, it is you that we worship. Wa Iyaka Nasta'een. And it is your aid that we seek. Ihdina Siratul Mustaqim. Guide us to this path and to the end of it. But this part, and what we're requesting all through the fact, the first part we're praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone and extolling him. After that, we begin to ask for things. Guide us. Aid us. Don't make us like those who aren't your anger. Make us like those. So all of that is we're requesting. That part is for us. The other part is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is from the virtues of Al-Fatiha. And the word Fatiha can be used for the meaning of beginning. It means at the beginning, the opening of a thing. Al-Fatiha. Surah Al-Fatiha, Makkiyah. It was revealed in Mecca. It was revealed in Mecca because the Isra wal Mi'raj, the Prophet traveling from Mecca to Jerusalem. That was in Mecca. Of course, it started in Mecca. And the Mi'raj, when the Prophet was taken up into the heavens, that was in Mecca. And when he was taken up into the heavens, the Salah was made obligatory. That was in Mecca. So the Muslims never knew of having a prayer without Al-Fatiha. Some scholars say Al-Fatiha was revealed twice. It was revealed in Mecca when the prayer was made obligatory, and then it was revealed again in Medina with the virtues of it, the benefits of it. The Prophet was reiterated to the Prophet. The Prophet was reminded about its verses and the strength of its verses in Al-Madinah. So it was revealed in Mecca. From the min maqasid as-surah. Maqasid is the plural of maqsad. And maqsad, it means the intended or the intentions behind the thing, the drive behind the thing, the purpose behind the thing. Ma maqsaduk or aina taqsid. Where do you intend to go? What's your purpose? So everything in the Quran has a purpose. And everything Allah created has a purpose. So min maqasid, from the purposes of this surah being revealed. Because Allah didn't reveal a verse from the Quran except that it has purpose. When we realize that purpose, we benefit more from the surah. Realize the purpose now, when we say the purpose of it, what did Allah want from us when He sent this down? What did He want from the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam when He sent this down? So, from it is تحقيق التوجه لله تعالى بكمال العبودية له وحده. Its main purpose. So that it is to achieve a person directing themselves in worship to Allah completely. To direct ourselves to Allah in our worship completely. That nothing else is involved in our worship that has nothing to do with worship. Whether it be status, whether it be wealth, whether it be achieving the opposite sex, anything like that, marriage, anything like that, none of that can be involved in our worship. So our worship is strictly to direct ourselves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala completely. From the tafsir, سميت سورة الفاتحة لافتتاح كتاب الله بها. And it was named Al-Fatiha, which means the beginning or the opening, because the Quran begins with it. The Quran begins with Al-Fatiha. وتسمى القرآن لاشتمالها على موضوعاته من التوحيد وعبادة وإشارة إلى قصص وغير ذلك، وهي أعظم سورة في القرآن وهي السبع المثاني. Also, it is called the mother of the book. It is called the mother of the Quran, Al-Fatiha. And the reason it was given that name is because everything that the Quran talks about is summed up. The Quran is a summation of all of the books that came before. And the Al-Fatiha is a summation of everything that's in the Quran. The Al-Fatiha summarizes 114 chapters are summarized in 7 verses. Praise Allah, extol Him, worship Him alone, know that you're going to return to Him, be like those who are righteous, don't be like those who went astray and earned Allah's anger. That's the Quran. That's everything that's in the Quran. And when you think about not being like those who went astray and earned Allah's anger, then it reminds you of the stories that Allah told about those individuals. When you're asking Allah to be like those who were guided to the straight path, then you're thinking about the stories of the righteous, the prophets and the messengers and their pious followers. It's all summarized right there in Al-Fatiha. So it summarizes Tawheed, the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ibadah, Iyaka na'bud. So that's the Salah. So you have the Shahada. You have the Salah, right? And then it's an indication towards the stories, and other than that, like the Zakat and everything type of worship in the Quran, and it is the greatest surah in the Quran. It is the greatest chapter in the Quran, the Al-Fatiha. And it is 7, as we mentioned, the 7 repeated verses. Okay. We start off with al-isti'adha. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم before we read the Quran, as Allah mentioned in Surah Al-A'raf, the 7th Surah of the Quran. However, the first verse of the Quran, some scholars say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Others say the first verse is Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Right? So now, we're going to go with what the scholars are mentioning here. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. When we say Bismillah, what do we mean? What do we want from that? When it was revealed, what's intended from Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim? In reality, when we say it, what should be intended is that I'm seeking Allah's aid because I'm mentioning His name in order for Him to give me the ability to complete this act of worship that we're going to begin. So al-Basmala is for isti'anah, is for seeking Allah's aid. When I say Bismillah, notice we get in the car, we say Bismillah. We leave the house, Bismillah. We enter the house, Bismillah. Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah. Why? Because every act that we want to complete for dunya or deen, that is from the things that do not anger Allah, we know we need Allah's aid to get it done. And without it, without Allah's aid, we can't do anything. That's when we say, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. There's no might, power, or strength except from Allah. So the Bismillah reminds us of that. Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah. Reading the Bismillah, going here, Bismillah. So many things as we're gonna learn as we read through Husnul Muslim, the Fortress of the Muslim, the Dua book. We're gonna see how many supplications have Bismillah. So Bismillah, I'm seeking Allah's aid. Also, with Allah's aid, Uridu barakatuh. I want His blessing. I want His blessing. If we look at some things that are considered to have value, weight, but we feel that we're not getting the benefit from that thing. Like, this should be more effective for me than it's being. Why is this thing not being effective? Many times it could be manzur al-barakah. It's stripped of blessing. Stripped of blessing. You could take something that's small that would be considered insignificant, and you'll see a person succeeding with it. See, he has nothing. How's he smiling? He's happy. He's going here. He's doing this. How's he doing it? Because the little he has blessing in it. It's barakah. You'll see somebody seem like they have everything, but it seems like they're struggling. Like that guy has everything. He's always complaining, struggling, stressed out like that because it's a barakah missing. The blessing is missing. The blessing is missing. Now, so Bismillah. Also, when we say it before reading the Quran and like that, it means أبتدئ قراءة القرآن مستعينا بالله تعالى. Right? متباركا بذكر اسمه. It means that I am beginning my recitation. I'm beginning my recitation seeking the blessings and the aid of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by mentioning His name. وقد تضمنت البسملة ثلاثة من أسماء الله الحسنى. And the Basmala, meaning saying Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, has in it 3 names from the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we look at it, 3 names. وَهِيَ Allah. The first name is Allah, and this is Allah's proper name. His proper name. Every name after the name Allah is a description for Allah. Every name. And this is why no, it's not permissible to put any other name, even from the names of Allah, before Allah. You won't say Qawi Allah, but you say Allah al-Qawi. So Allah comes first, and then every other name comes after that, because every other name, even when it's a name, is still one of the descriptions of Allah. Bismillah ar-Rahman. هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو عالم الغيب والشهادة هو الرحمن الرحيم هو الله الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر. Allah mentions Allah first, and then mentions everything else. So they follow the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وقد تضمنت البسملة 3 من أسماء الله الحسنى. 3 of Allah's most beautiful names. The first one is Allah. And Allah, the meaning of Allah is al-ma'bud bil-haq, the one that is worshipped in reality, the one that deserves worship in reality. Many things are worshipped, but how many of those things that are worshipped deserve to be worshipped? Nothing deserves, has a right to be worshipped except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, al-ma'bud bil-haq. وهي أخص أسماء الله تعالى. It is the most specific name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like I said, it's the proper name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So for an example, for the human beings, we would say Khalid. So that's the brother's name. That is the proper noun, his name. Then we say, what Khalid? Said Khalid, the plumber, or the truck driver, or the carpenter, or so now anything you say after Khalid is just describing Khalid. It's describing him. So with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah is the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-Hayy, the ever living. Al-Qayyum, the self-sustaining sustainer. When we get to Ayah al-Kursi, we'll go over that meaning. Allah is the self-sustaining sustainer. He doesn't need sustenance. However, He provides sustenance for everything. Allah. And this is the most specific name to Allah. It's Allah's proper name. وَلَا يُسَمَّى بِهِ غَيْرَهُ سُبْحَانَهُ. And nobody can have that name. Nobody can take the name Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nobody can have that name. It is major polytheism and disbelief for someone to put the name Allah on himself, meaning without putting slave of Allah in front of it. No. Ar-Rahman. Ar-Rahman, Aydul Rahma Wasi'ah. The name of Allah, Ar-Rahman, it means the one that possesses extensive mercy. Allah's mercy is so extensive that He allowed people that deny Him, that associate partners with Him, that attribute wives and children to Him, to still eat from the things and drink from the things that He provides. Who, having power, would allow someone that rejects and denies them to still benefit from them? So these individuals reject. The atheist says there is no God, no fire, no this, no, we came from monkey. They deny the revelation of Allah and Allah Ta'ala because His mercy is so vast in the dunya. He even allows the people that reject Him and deny Him to have part of that mercy. Ar-Rahman. The Rahma Wasi'ah, the one who possesses wide, extensive mercy. فَهُوَ رَحْمَنْ بِذَاتِهِ. So He is the most merciful in and of Himself. Then the third name is Ar-Rahim. And Ar-Rahim, ذو الرحمة واصلة. فهو يرحم برحمته من شاء من خلقه ومنهم المؤمنون من عباده. Now, this is a connective mercy. This mercy is restricted for those who believe. Come the day of judgment, the food, the drink, the shade, the relaxation, the peace of Jannah, everybody that denied Him in the dunya, they get no parts of it. They don't have any of that mercy. That mercy is restricted for those who believed in the dunya, strove in the dunya, fought against their desires in the dunya, fulfilled their obligations in the dunya, stayed away from the prohibitions in the dunya. They get that mercy. They get to drink from rivers of milk, rivers of honey, rivers of wine that don't get you drunk. Right? Allah said in Surah Al-A'raf that those who didn't believe in the dunya, they're going to be a conversation between the people in Jannah and the people in the hellfire. They're going to say, pour down for us water, anything that Allah has provided for you. They're going to say, no, Allah has made that haram upon the rejectors, the disbelievers. You can't have any of this water. You drank it in the dunya, you can't drink it in the akhirah. So Allah Ta'ala is the one who possesses this connected mercy that's connected to those who believe and do what He ordered and stayed away from what He prohibited. And that is the tafsir to Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim that the scholars brought here. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to, when we hear the statement, as He said, الَّذِينَ يَسْتَمِعُونَ الْقَوْلَ فَيَتَّبِعُونَ أَحْسَنَهُ. He said those who, when they hear the word, they follow the best indication on the best meaning in it. So we ask Allah Ta'ala to make us from those who, when we hear the word, that we follow the best possible meaning that the word carries, and allow us to have sincere intentions, beneficial knowledge, and righteous actions that are accepted by Him. Ameen. If there are any questions, we'll take them. If not, we can stop it, inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت وأستغفرك وأتوب إليك.